want to go into a listen here as this Lunatic's Fringe squad starts to take a little bit of a lead, 32-25, and see just kind of what their comms are like as this happens. Because I know, for me, this is always a time in which, if I get too lax, the enemy team can bring it right back.
I totally agree.
Tower 1, I got shots on Tower 1, he's weak.
Whitehall going E2. E2, Biddy.
I got shot off spawn.
One shot,
Okay.
E2. Yeah, we're fine.
On one's going Nest Bridge, Frosty, E2.
One shot.
E2,
One shot.
weak.
Whitehall. One shot, Whitehall.
He's dead.
I'm probably gonna die here.
E2.
Nice.
He's dead.
Nice.
Nice job. I'm spawning E1.
What time was that camo again?
Like 41.
Long haul, Fireboy. He's weak.
We're getting shot from back somewhere.
One yellow
That
corner.
sniper's gonna be up soon.
Tower 2.
We're all dead. I
That's
spawn.
Catwalk.
He's dead.
E2.
Can you grab that
E2, guys.
sniper?
E2.
I couldn't. Fireboy's weak.
I'm just
Go down.
living. Nope, I died. Camo. Catwalk or Whitehall or something.
White corner. I'm playing my life.
What happened to
Fuck.
Camo, Venom?
One shot,
Did you
E2.
see it?
Sniper's off. I
No,
got
I
a
didn't see
sniper
it.
off.
Okay.
I'm going tower. They shot
Biddy got
Camo
it.
down.
Good
I
shot.
got camo.
Oh.
Camo's 41.
He got
Okay.
it.
I'm tower.
Shot
too.
E2. Shot E2.
Heard.
Watch out, Biddy. Don't go to there. Okay.
We got
Nice
E2.
bridge. I'm getting fucked. They're all outside.
I
They're
can't see the
focusing
E2
me.
guy.
They're
Okay,
outside.
I'm coming E2.
Sewers.
shot,
There was
Sewers,
one
shot,
like drill
Sewers.
plat or
On the
something.
catwalk. Catwalk, I got a shot on
Look
catwalk.
E2. 2 E2 weak.
E2's one shot E2.
Where's the other one?
Dead,
Where's
three
the other
dead.
one?
Last
Got
one's
three.
mine.
Nice. Long haul.
One's shooting
Flat
you.
or something.
Whitehall.
I spawn bottom nest. I'm with you, Venom. They're
They're
spawning
E2. Don't go
bunker.
there. Don't go there.
Yep. I'm
Careful.
just trying to live.
Long haul.
For your long haul.
One's E2.
Yeah. He got me.
Oh no, he's got shotty.
Good
He's got
kill,
shotty in long haul.
Good kill.
Long haul. Shotty going drill plat, shotty. Nading him.
Wow.
I'm on your nest. Biddy.
E2 got shots. Nice. E2's dead.
Nice job.
Another one, drill plat.
I got shots, Biddy. He's one.
E2, T2, one shot.
He's
T2, one shot.
absolute. Yellow corner. They're
Easy
both one
kill,
shot.
Eddie.
There you go.
Got him.
Drill plat.
Behind you,
Tower
behind
2,
you.
one shot. Tower 2's dead.
Right
Yellow
here,
corner,
right
one
here.
shot. Nice. That's a fucking
Good
serious win,
guys.
boys.
GG.
All right, nice finish there by Lunatic Fringe.
Alright. Great win. Great first win for them. Really excited to see their first win in the season.
Yeah, very, very well played there. Just calm, cool, collected. None of them there pushing when they didn't really need to. Awesome, patient plays out of Dargan, also pulling 20 kills for his team in that game as they take that series 3-1 with a tie, 50-44.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, Chad. We did not see a game 5. We're sorry we did not see that awesome truth game. That will be a very good. Go back and watch Crazy Crazy. Oof. Back and forth.
Yeah, we'll certainly be looking for that one in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well,
Nice.
I gotta go, and GT Reeves, just who played a phenomenal series here, is about to join you for the next series.
Yeah, I'm not
So-
sure if are we doing the next series right now or are we waiting?
I believe. I don't know if they are
'Cause I-
doing.
Believe the next one's supposed to start at. Actually, I have the schedule right here, so I should probably just bring it up. 7 p.m. Oh, it's supposed to start at 7. So yes, we will be playing the next game, the next series right now, everybody.
Now.
So, Trig, thank you so much, my friend, for coming and casting with me this evening. This
Always,
was very
always
fun.
a blast. Always a blast. But you go have fun. Your boy Reeps just had a phenomenal series. Tell him GG, and hope I catch you on the next one.
All right, dude. Will do.
Will do. See you on the flip side. And goodbye, chat. Some good Halo coming up to you right after this message.
Little advertisement there right after this message, folks.
Message. But I will catch y'all on the flip side.
Yeah, as we get this all set up, I'm gonna get everybody in here. I'll get Reaps in here. We'll get these players going.
I should be
time
watching it too. So I'll
Nice.
probably watch. So yeah,
Very
I'll
good.
catch you on the flip side.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
All right, everybody. While I get this set up, I'm gonna play you a little bit of our MGE soundtrack as we get up ready for this next game, Crazed versus Nova. Seeing again our Trident Beast Anchor Sleeper. These players might not be accurate. I know we are having some subs, and yes, that is correct. Monsters will most likely be in this next game. Looks like he's sticking around, so this should be very interesting, and he should be playing very well. Especially a little salty, I'm sure, after that loss. So stay tuned, everybody.
Oh, why they we have like 6 people in here. Send Dark Reaper and then an invite.
I did.
No, they pick map we host. That's all it is.
Oh,
We are.
are you noisy?
Does it know something? Oh, okay.
Okay, we've got us though. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, get ready. You joining them? Alright.
All right. About to jump right into this second series. Sorry for the confusion. A little bit of a who's hosting games, who's. Always a shout out to Naughty Angel and congratulations for winning, but always a good shout out to her for administering these games, setting it all up, making sure all the game types are all correct, getting all the players organized. It's always a huge help. Let's go, everybody. I'm hyped for this game number 2. I believe I'm getting Reaps in here. Thank you, Naughty. Oh, let's get Mr. Reaps in here. I believe he's going to be casting with me. If I can figure out how to call him. There it is. So, Crazed Gaming versus Nova. I haven't had actually any time to take a look here at the previous matches in a great length of detail, but I know previously seeing Leon Oxide and Dark Reaper play that they were slaying. So I expect this to be a heavy slay team out of them. Obviously seeing our top 4 Trident Beast Anchor Sleeper here is going to be a sweat fest for sure. Mr. GT Reaps, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, significantly better than last weekend.
Yeah, what a great win. You guys played so well. We had your listen-ins. They were very calm, collected. You were making good call-outs. People were responding really well. I even saw, I think it was you respond to Naughty made like a incorrect call-out, but you were like right there. She was like E2 and you were like E2 and you looked over and then she was like no and you like immediately went back. And so it was just great to see just like the level of connected that you guys were on all those games, really.
Yeah, obviously, biggest thing is finally got the monkey off the back. Longer winless. First week was real rough. Last week there was some improvement because we did pull a game, but obviously this weekend finally got it taken care of. Did our business and got a win.
Yep, exactly. Did your work, dude. It was good. And man, that can you tell me a little bit about the before we get going here as these guys are setting up like that truth game, like whew, that CTF was heated and it just the caps, the pulls from each team back and forth were just phenomenal.
Yeah, that was. And there's not much to say about that game because you guys obviously saw it. Definitely heated. But it was definitely the last once they got that last cap to take it to overtime. It was a little bit unnerving. So it got a little bit hectic towards the end, but
Yeah,
at least we still did what we needed to do. Obviously, made some plays, especially when they started pulling flags. I don't know how often you saw it, but there's a point in that overtime period that they were running our flag P side. I spawned our bubble, and the first thing I did is I immediately ran to pull the flag. I did that about 2 or 3 times just to prevent them from at least getting a cap and keep the game going.
Yeah,
So,
it was huge. Like I remember trying to keep track of everything that was happening. Like, okay, they made a pull and then somebody spawned, and yeah, like you said a couple times, it was like wow. And the number of flag pulls in that game is just many more than we've seen in a typical MGL game here. So it was really like quite exciting to see the flag standoffs and everything. So Yeah, but at any rate, congrats. We were all kind of secretly hoping for a rematch of that map, but nonetheless excited for your win, dude. That's great. I was rooting for you the whole time, honestly.
I'll be honest, the way that I think if I had to be honest, that first game, even though the Venom dropping 7,700 damage and 40 kills and how many assists,
Oh my gosh, it was
right, him
wild.
coming in on fire. For me personally, I felt like I was pretty cold because I actually just got off of work about an hour before we started playing.
Oh
I
wow.
didn't have a lot of time to warm up, but basically, I knew that when it came to playing, I was focusing a lot more on in the objective, trying to get flag pulls or at least be a nuisance, get caps. Um, basically, just trying to keep the game alive as much as I could, even though I was trying to focus on the objective more. I didn't really get to focus on my shot so much. But then, obviously, the last game, our Slayer match, I get to play my game a little bit more and actually focus on killing, and obviously go, 13-9,
Yeah.
killing spree,
Yeah.
nothing to bat my eye at. But
No, but
I was
solid
happy.
work and warming up, right? I think that's something that we could all take some advice from. Hey, you're not feeling your shot for whatever reason. You just got out of work and you're like trying to warm up. Like, be that objective player. Say, okay, this time I'm gonna focus on that a little bit more. Try and be a nuisance. Try and be more of a nuisance with my body necessarily than I am with my shot. And clearly it worked out for you guys. Obviously, in that game ended up being a tie, but I would say, everybody played phenomenal in that game. So yeah.
That was just a straight down and dirty back and forth game. I don't think the biggest lead was more than one cap. It was always within one cap the entire game.
Yes, it was. Yep. All right, getting some hype now. Going into this game number 1. Demonic taking a little bit of a break, so he'll be with us shortly. Our first one here, Bombard Coliseum. I'm trying to remember. Again, I haven't had time to look into all the notes we have here for all these, but I don't think we've seen a Bombard Coliseum, have we? To your memory, I don't think we have, and it's gonna be an interesting one.
Everything on Coliseum has been ATF.
Yeah, yeah, that rings a bell as well, or a Slayer, maybe. Yeah,
just whole afternoon and evening has been very condensed, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to prepare, so I haven't been able to pull up anything yet.
No, you're good.
Absolutely. I think the only thing we've ever seen on Coliseum, at least within the SvS season, has just been Slayer or CTF, but Bombard. Man.
It's sure going to make a good one, I think, on Coliseum, right? Because we've got, I don't know, I always think about it in terms of a flag cap, where if you run it over on snipe side, you can be a little sneaky. But especially with a ball, when you're trying to like put it in the other, team's base, you've got all those like bottom red maze, red sneaky, red DMR, and so if you're just like crouching around with a ball, on that side, it might be it might be easy for the other team to sort of overextend, and you could maybe get a secret, bomb plant. So it'll really be up to players just making sure they're clearing out their bases so that none of those situations happen.
Yes, I mean, Coliseum definitely. Obviously, just saw the played Bombard our last series on Fathom, and Fathom's a little bit more linear as to how many options you have to get into the base. But with Coliseum, you have 3 different paths you can take, as well as going above the base through the bridge, or going underneath base and circling into their oven, or so many different options you can take. It's real easy to get sneaky with the ball, and honestly, even when you're defending, to lose track of the ball carrier, especially on Coliseum, because you have these multiple paths that people take, and definitely gonna be seeing Reaper, because I know Reaper, he can be real sneaky. BJ, and it gets frustrating when you're playing against him.
It's funny to see. I remember playing in a game with Reaper, with, I think it was like a Beast Trident game night, and I just kind of like jumped in. Reaper was hosting. We didn't have quite enough players, and we were me and him especially, because we're not beasts or tridents, we're sweating pretty hard, but he definitely had that supportive role there where he was able to be super sneaky, super annoying in terms of staying alive and just putting on good shots. So I definitely expect, especially, you know, him and Goddess in the sleeper rank, the low rank in this one, which is something to be said because they're both phenomenal players, is going to see how they have to adjust their play styles, you know, with these top tier players. And so that being said, we're about to jump into our game number 1, game number 3 of series number 3 here. Crazed Gaming versus Nova. Bombard on Coliseum.
Be honest, before we even get to the game, they team's Crazed, isn't they, aren't they? Or did they
Say that again. What's up?
said Crazed is blue team, right?
No, Crazed is red team,
Okay, that threw me off because of
I believe, right? Yes, Crazed is red.
okay.
So Crazed is right. This is a excuse me. Lost my train of thought for a second. This is a solar versus a solar squad. So home team gets, you know, whenever your home team is, if you are solar, you're red. If you are lunar, you're blue. Oh man, I'm like jumping in this game now. Dead silence with a nice double kill now with the sniper, right off the bat.
See, okay. Well, actually, speaking of which, didn't get to see it yet, but Goddess, she wound up picking up that OS. She's already got the ball. She's actually going for a plant right now. Good nade though. Leonox, it looks like, will take out that OS, but 3 dead on blue team, and that's an easy cap for Crazed right off the bat here.
Yeah, nicely done. Good support there for Demonic Toast. Putting in the good shots, finishing up that kill, and finishing the plant that got us started.
See, already Goddess is immediately putting a lot of focus on this ball. She's grabbed the ball again. She's going in and gets a beat down on Reaper. They do wind up trading. But with that, looks like we got 2 down for Crazed. I really need to.
And now. Oh, good job here by Nova, though. Like, really just dogpiling on this sniper's side of the map. Dead Silence trying to make a good comeback here, but they're going to tie it right up. 1 plant to 1 plant. This is Bombard again, as we all know. Slays get you 1 point. Ball plants get you 20. Jumping on here with Venom as he runs right back, but... And that ball is dead. Oh, no, it's not. Wow. What a fly in there. Almost planted. And phew, Crazed Gaming going to get another cap there. Really quick between these players. Now on here with Venom, who's up here at this top... overshield. Fighting along, electing to stay alive.
Right, now that I have some materials open, I can actually back and forth between screens so that I'm not getting right up here on what I'm trying to call out, but...
Oh, no worries. I'm just trying to, like, register in my head, like, okay, which team is which, and... Again, it happened so quick. I was hoping for some time to prepare for this, but hey, you know, just deal with what you got. Toast, thinking he had a stick, he didn't. Still gets the kill, but of course is then stuck there by Reaper, doing a good job. Gonna flip over here with Monsters on Nova. Actually, his team now, and he is not subbing. Probably feeling very warm after that game, despite the loss. I'm sure he's gonna be playing at his best.
I was gonna say that's one thing I was really trying to talk about before lost everything I was trying to say, but Nova, obviously P-Money not able to play this week, so
what a play there. Sorry to cut you off. Well, of course, all 3 players of Nova are spawning, but Crazed Gaming had an amazing play. That ball was almost capped. So close. Just a last-ditch effort there. Almost finished it off.
and whoever whoever was it on blue team picked up the ball, did a very smart move just to take it over the elbow and jump it off to get it out of the base and put that ball in respawn so that, you know, red team wasn't able to come in there and just grab it and quickly plant it.
Agreed. That's usually the play. You want to just get it out of your base so that it can respawn. On this map, you get the opportunity of having the edge of the map be right there, and you can just secure that right away and have that ball spawn back in a mid position.
I want to watch Dark Reaper for a little bit because right off the start, like the first couple minutes of this game, he's had a real nice start. He's put up 13 kills. Unfortunately, hasn't entirely translated to plants and points for the team, but in the slaying aspect, he is doing extremely well.
Yeah, now they're up 72. Did we miss a bomb plant? Oh, yes, we did. There was 2, or I don't know if I missed it, but there was 2 here out of red team doing a good job. But of course, now we see Nova just recognizing that they really need to get back there whenever they don't know where the ball is, and now all 3 of them in their base. But I like this. They're still putting on, Nova is still putting on that pressure. Now Dead Silence is going to grab the ball here. His team does die, but he does move that ball closer to their base, and that really prevents Nova from making any real headway, because they have to worry about that in case this Crazed Gaming just makes another good slay and grab for it.
To say is seeing a lot of aggressiveness out of Crazed Gaming right now. They're really in the face of Nova. They're consistently pushing their base, bringing that ball in, pushing it all the time. God is doing a great job of playing that ball and always getting it in there, but Massa's with a nice play, clear out the bomb plant, nice little double kill. But do have Crazed all over that ball and over the plant site, really pushing into that blue base. Like I said, playing extremely aggressive. You're seeing blue. They're trying to push out, but they're spending a lot of time in their base playing defense, not really having themselves the opportunity to push out. I mean, they're focusing so much on their base that by the time Crazed is getting off spawn, they're already pushing, you know, top cat, top rockets, putting shots in them while they're looking back towards their base.
Exactly, and as you mentioned before, we're on with Goddess here, who is just like holding on to that ball, just making them nervous that she might be in there trying to camp, and that's certainly a factor here. She picks up the sniper, drops the ball. What a stick, though, out of Venom there from across the way.
I was gonna say, that was definitely... You see Goddess, she has no fear, especially playing that objective. You know, even picking up that sniper. She probably could have put herself in a better position, unfortunately losing that sniper, but now, because of that, you see Nova got the, oh, never mind, I think Reaper might have gotten back smacked. They did get the OS, and they're pushing for a plant, but... Yeah,
I think they think they should be able to get this. Well, nope, the 2 members back there for it, so nicely done by Crazed Gaming. That almost looked like a good push. Leonoxide having a little bit of trouble getting some kills there. If he had gotten a couple more shots on those players sooner, I think that might have been a different story. 92 to 68. Still pretty much just 1 plant away from this being a tie game. So the slay is still going very much even on both teams.
Yeah, but again, there's another plant going on right now, and Dead Silence does a fantastic job of jumping in front of the ball, kind of taking the focus off of the planter, and, you know, gets that third ball plant for Crazed. And just relentless. They keep picking up that ball, pushing the base. You see they got this over in cave. Dead Silence picking up the ball, pushing elbow. Goddess pushing those trenches. So it's just, you know, Crazed is all over the place on Nova here.
I know, and Diabolic getting a killing spree. Pretty sure he got that killing spree in the enemy's cave. Just an absolute nuisance, really enabling that last bomb plant, and now this next push.
In Crazed Gaming, they're not even, like, when they're getting the ball, their focus here is they're just trying to get that ball into the base. Not even necessarily a starter plant, but they're keeping that ball out of the hands of Nova, which is really forcing them to put a lot of focus on playing defense and allowing those spawners, like I said, off of Crazed to come in behind them and put a lot of pressure and allow them to keep up this aggressive style that they've been playing this whole game.
Yeah, and they almost seem, you know, we've only seen the ball in Nova's base, excuse me, in Crazed base once or twice now, and the collapse out of Crazed to sort of clear them out. It's, you know, Nova hasn't had an opportunity to have that map control, so it really seems like they're just on the back foot, and they don't even quite know what to do once they get over there.
Demonic is a fantastic. Well, just gets taken out, but he was doing a fantastic job of staying alive top rockets and controlling rocket side, just putting damage on Nova from across the map. But now you see here, Nova, they have a little bit of control and they're getting a plant. And Monsters with a backsmack on Demonic. They actually got the sniper over and they're sneaky right now. Go up and then clean up on Goddess as well. But Diabolic does take him out. Sniper's going off the map, it looks like.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 20 seconds about left in this game. Goes to 150, so one ball plant will do it for Crazed Gaming, though this can just go to slays as well, and that tends to be what happens when it gets to this point in the game.
You can see Crazed, they're all in their base because they know that Nova's picked up that ball. They can't find him, so they're just sitting in their base trying to figure out where the ball carrier is. So maybe this would be the chance that Nova can actually get some aggressiveness and get some presence in their base and, you know, get a plant and bring this back to this game a little bit closer. So as it stands right now, they're only down by 4 kills. So they get a plant, they're very much back in this game.
They're right in it, but they've got to do it now as we're getting closer and closer to the time limit of this game. There's 2 dead, though, there for Crazed Gaming. Leonoxide now rotating around through to the elbow. He's going to get a nice backsmack on Dead Silence.
And he's sitting here waiting for this OS, and he gets it. So this might be the play. And with 2 down, looks like Reaper is just sitting in the cave. No, they're waiting for the ball. Okay.
I was going to say, where's that ball? Because they need it now.
They got that ball over on elbow. What's that? Top rockets.
Leonoxide just having some trouble cleaning up that player.
That was unfortunate. We didn't see who got it, but someone got the kill, top rockets, and had that control. The OS over on their elbow, if they could have gotten a hold of that ball and started pushing, they would have had a real solid chance to get that cap and bring this back into a much closer game. And now you see, who is this? Reaper being sneaky, like he always is with that ball.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard met here with this entire Crazed game inside, just taking good angles. Like, there's all that area in the back of the base, but he knows he's got to move now, and he does it, and it gets close. Looks like they might get that plant, and they do. 138 to 141. This is doable. They just got to slay.
10 seconds, they're going to need him real quick. A 2-kill game. You kind of see that they're just kind of hiding. They're sitting back, waiting.
1 kill game, 1 second. Oh.
Man. Got close. That got real close.
That was tight. Right at the end there, man. That is a thought I would like to watch again. What a great, like, right in the nick of time, getting that nice cap slaying out of their base. Bunch of players in there for that last one. And then 4 kills down. Saw Reaper just immediately go up on the top overshield, not pick up the ball, get a good slay down on a person who was over on the, excuse me, my words are failing me, over on that plat, and then push right into the oven to try and pick up some more kills. 1 or 2 more nades into that oven, and that would have been a tie game or maybe even a win for Nova.
Like I was mentioning earlier, Goddess and Reaper, like I said, they're going to be, well, Reaper specifically, I knew he was going to be extremely sneaky, but Goddess, 93 seconds of ball time, like I said, that first half of the game, Crazed was really, in your face, putting that ball in the base and trying to trying to be as aggressive as they could. Then even Reaper on the other side, leading the team, carrying the ball, carries the ball, gets a ball plant, plays defense, and even puts up 23 kills himself. So
yeah,
very, very solid game out of Reaper. Even Venom yet again, he's didn't quite get the kills, but he's still sitting there putting out that damage. Dropping 4,000 damage, highest in the lobby again. I mean, he's having a good day so far.
Yeah, he definitely got to feel good about that. Go ahead. Sorry, you were saying?
I was saying, I just said that definitely having a good day. Just unfortunately, that damage didn't really, the kills that he needed and didn't translate to a win on this game. But
like we said, that one there, amazing plays at the end, could have gone either way. 142, 140, and they made the right decisions. I don't, at least at the end of that game anyway, it was a solid, 2-3 minutes of time where actually Nova really had control of that game. They started to bring it back, and while it felt very similar to really how the rest of the game felt on the Crazed gaming side, where they were just putting pressure on it. Now, Crazed was like being aggressive, getting all these slays, and really like choking, or really pouncing, whereas at the end there, it felt like Nova was sort of a slow choke. They were sort of like gradually moving in. Okay, the first little plant didn't work. The second one didn't work. The third one, okay, we got halfway there and finally able to capitalize. Like you said, unfortunately, still losing that game 142 to 140, but those players are not going to feel sad about that as we move into our game number 2, which is Slayer Truth.
Yeah, I was going to say that aggressiveness just early on from Crazed really allowed him to build up a lead and control the game for so long that even though Nova was making that push at the end, Crazed, it just looked and felt like they comfortable that entire game regardless of what happened at the end there.
Yeah. Though you got to be worried, right? I mean, the same sort of thing you can see happens to some teams where you build up a little bit of lead and then you get a little lax. You think you're playing well and the other team is really pushing hard, so you get that push and pull, or one team builds up a good lead and they say, "Oh, we're doing fine now," and the other team says, "We're down by a lot. We got to change our gears," and you get sort of that climb, and that always, the difference between great teams and okay teams are the ones that can pull it together both when they're winning and when they're losing.
That's you need to keep up the aggressiveness is the biggest thing you can do. So, like I said earlier, Venom dropping 40 kills on this CTF game in the last series. I'm kind of excited to see how he's going to play this Slayer match. He's already starting off with 2 kills, 2 each for him and Monsters actually, but Reaper putting out the assists so far. Already got 3 assists, so he's putting out his damage as well.
Yeah, clearly he's been playing very well. It's nice to see him doing well here, as I've played with him before, and me and him definitely can have on and off nights, and we've had many discussions about that.
Venom's holding down this P2 area. Hear him, but I saw the way that he reacted on one play. That he's listening to his callouts. He's reacting. He's looking for those one shots and trying to get those kills. Unfortunately, he gets taken down from Diabolic from behind, pushing up on that blue P side.
Yeah, we were on with Reaper, who died before, and Venom wasn't quite privy to it, or if he was, he elected to just put shots on his other teammates while he probably knew he was going to die.
But you see, get aggressive. They're holding that top mid area. But you see who is that? Nate and Poppy. I don't know. Gamer tags off the top of my head, but you see them rotating. That's Diabolic and Silence. They were rotating that P side right after they got the kills in red base, but looks like we got a little bit lucky and had some people spawn behind them. Those kills. So
yeah.
Really, the spawn cycle going for longer other than one set of spawns.
Right, exactly. It looked like in that case, moving together as a squad, trying to rotate, but not quite able to be aggressive and come and take this top P position. You see people rotating around, but you really want to get up and take some good angles. It seemed like they were in a tough spot there. Now on board with Goddess here. I believe she got a double or some nice nade kills earlier. Now she's in a great position to put shots on Reaper here. She picks up a kill. She stays over on this red street side, puts shot on Venom. Diabolic with the finish with that grenade, and she's just going to continue to anchor this position, enable her teammate Diabolic to get a nice little double there. She's going to rotate around with him to this top middle control. Just nice. You want to see all these players sort of collapsing in where they can, calling out. Anyone you're shooting doesn't have full shields, it seems, and that's always a good sign for a team.
I was gonna say, Goddess is doing a fantastic job of playing her life. Unfortunately, gets taken out there by Leon Oxide, but the fact that she's playing, you know, the P2 and top mid areas and only died 3 times, but she's got 5 assists, 6 assists, excuse me, but like I said, she's doing a fantastic job of anchoring those positions and, you know, putting out damage and reacting to the callouts. Even off a spawn right here, Monster's being down from the car, and she just immediately off spawn goes front red and puts some shots on him and gets cleaned up by Dead Silence. And she's going back to P2 and top mid, control these power positions for her team.
And that's exactly what you want to do. Especially on a map like Truth, it's so unforgiving of a map because it's so open. There's only so many angles you can hold. There's only so many places you can spawn. Now this is Slayer, so you can, if you push too far, your team can, you know, the enemy can spawn behind you. But in general, if you're playing this right, it can be very brutal for the team on the receiving end of all those grenades and spawn traps. Up now, 30-24, starting to pull away a little bit is Crazed Gaming. Let's see, I know I do have a listen-in set up. Is it with Crazed Gaming? It is with Crazed Gaming. I want to jump into a listen-in real quick and just see how they're handling this mid-game.
Shot P2. I killed Invis.
P2.
Nate, behind you. Behind you.
One shot, fucking blue 2. One shot blue 2. He pushed out.
Wait, we waiting for spawns.
Yeah.
Meaning I have Invis. No, we killed Invis. Never mind. We're good.
No, I just shot fucking.
I got nade on P2. Very weak.
Nading me right away.
Should it be 3?
Blue card.
Still got P2.
Thank you, Nate.
He's dead.
Still wants to look across.
Blue 2, P2, one shot.
I got naded.
I'm with you.
I got shots for the 2.
2 and blue 2.
I got one.
Sorry,
I'm being pushed by
my
one.
bad. That was a slow rotation.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Back up.
There's 2 of them. Back, yeah, there's
Okay,
2.
okay.
Watch out.
I'm being pushed car.
Yeah, the blue 1 and blue 2.
What the fuck? I
Got
didn't see
some
where
with
you
you.
shot me from.
1 second, rotating with you. I'm gonna nade your side, just in case. Don't know where they are.
Top mid.
Top mid. Got him. Nice call.
Dead. Going red car.
Red bar.
Top mid. Red Eli. One
Top
hit.
mid, no shields. Look.
RP Street.
Oh. Don't
I
worry,
got
guys.
really lie out.
All right, not the most energetic of comms. Certainly now, Crazed Gaming, or Nova bringing it back a little bit, 37-39, and I can kind of understand why. While we were seeing some really good jobs of players staying alive, the comms seemed to be coming in a little bit late, I thought.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple times that some of the calls were late, much later than what they should have been, but they were. It was weird. It was a weird mixture of, you know, they were really calm, but at the same time, kind of panicked. You're not seeing them, like, it doesn't seem like they're really holding those power positions as much as they were when they had that lead, but now you can see Nova's brought this back to an even game. And they've even got camo. Oxide's got camo at the moment. So this could be a chance for Nova to wind up taking a lead here.
Yeah, certainly. Leon Oxide, though, being very cautious with this camo. The Reaper taking out Toast there. Now Leon Oxide challenging Goddess to a one-on-one. He wins it. The Reaper is taken out, and we're tied up to 42-42.
Diabolic just dropping a double kill over there to tie it back up.
Yeah, tough use of that invis there. Leon Oxide not quite feeling the confidence to push out. We do know these players to have quite hawk eyes sometimes, so it's understandable.
Monster's dropping a double now. In that lead, they got a 3-kill lead, but they're collapsing on this last guy in blue now, a 4-kill lead. Now they got them in a spawn, so they're going to be rotating back towards red here very quickly. they've got this 4-kill lead, you see them being a little bit more aggressive. You know, when it was tied 42-42, you got another 2 kills.
Yeah, there we go. That's a nice finish there by Nova.
Thing almost seemed to stop. Even saw Lead Oxide, like you mentioned, very passive with that camo, not wanting to give anything up. But once Nova got that, once they got that 2-kill lead, and then Monsters dropped a double, turned into a 4-kill lead, and then they collapsed on the last spawner in blue, and the next thing you know, they were all flying back over to red base to catch them off of spawns real quick, and some very quick movement out of Nova there on the last little kills of the game. And again, Monsters and Venom put up some very big numbers: 3,000 damage, 2,800 damage, and even Leon Oxide with 2,000. But the assist as well, you know, what is that? 40 assists. 40 of the 50 kills were assisted.
Yeah, and you know we've seen Nova, not this exact squad, but Leon Oxide and Reaper play before, but with their buddies Shotzi, they're a slaying team. They know how to slay. Slayer is their game type, exactly as you've said. Once they had that double, they knew they had numbers. They were flying on those spawners, constantly putting in team shots. And you know, even so, we're seeing, you know, Goddess and Reaper, sort of the two sleepers in the team, playing very well. I think I've been very impressed by the way they've been playing. I think all their plays have been smart. Seeing them really play their lives as much as they can. Goddess only with 12 kills, the most assists on the team, just doing the best job to, you know, take those power positions as we saw, and stay alive and make those call outs and put team shots on.
And I mean, Nova, especially when you got the top 2 players dropping 34 kills, along with 40 assists from the team overall, it's going to be very easy to have a successful game, especially when it comes to Slayer. So,
yeah, and
Monsters definitely made it easy for the rest of the team. The amount of damage they were putting out, and yeah, I guess we didn't see it on stream. I guess, I don't know, I didn't see it, but Monsters dropping a triple kill.
he did. We definitely missed it, but.
So
yeah, and the fifth, did you mention the 15 headshots, just on point with his accuracy, just really finishing up kills. So
yeah,
definitely feeling warm from the previous game. All right, or 1-1, Crazed versus Noma, dropping into game number 3, King of the Hill Cryptic. This is one we saw earlier today. You know, this one always eludes me. I haven't played it that much. And it's, you know, the setups on this are quick as well. So I feel like the quicker team here jumping on top of spawners is going to make a big difference. I have a feeling this game could be very, very one-sided if one team is able to really string together those slays. And I want to start off here with Monsters, given the performance he had last game. Missing his signature jump up to top mid as Demonic Toast takes that overshield. But Monsters is going to drop right down, bring up this green gun, and just basically challenge Demonic Toast. He gets the hit off and gets the kill. Demonic.
And another thing that went unnoticed is red team went 3 down off to that spawn. The only person alive was Demonic, and he got that OS, but Monster's very smart, dropping back down, picks up that green gun, back up and gave it made it 4 down. So Nova can definitely get some sort of a setup going here. They can get a good chunk of time on this first hill.
Yeah, but with only 15 seconds left, I'm not sure it's really happening here. Diabolic with a nice perfect kill. And everyone's already gearing up, getting ready to set up for the next hill here. Diabolic already in it. Not sure I like this decision out of him. I mean, he's going to get a couple kills. Definitely cleans up Monster there. Looks like he didn't know he was there. But very susceptible, especially as you rotate that early. Now 2 down. Go down for Crazed.
Actually, it almost wound up working out for him because the way that he was positioned in hill, the way that the rest of Nova was positioned. Dead Silence actually did spawn in green there with him, so Venom rotated back just in time, so force everybody else to spawn away. But if it would have been another couple seconds, you know, all of Crazed would have been spawning over in that hill. And they would have had good control of this hill, but Nova definitely does a good job of getting in there and cleaning up the kills, and they get the control themselves. But Reaper gets taken out by
his own nade.
You see people already rotating for that next hill, even though there's a whole lot going on that last hill, but
Yeah,
a
both
lot of
teams really trying to gain complete map control. Monster's not able to get the burn there on Camo. Venom's able, though, to come and snag it right underneath Demonic. He misses that jump, and he leaves Demonic, which could be a mistake, but Demonic gets some nice grenades. Now Venom will challenge him. Demonic doing a really good job staying alive against that overshield player. Switching over here to Leonoxide, who's challenging this hill.
let's say Venom's not getting a lot of kills right now, but he's just, you know, staying in that hill, maintaining that presence, and at least allowing his team an opportunity to get back in position. You see they go 3 down right now. They get in position, now they have control of this red room. They're going to be able to get the last 10 seconds of this hill.
Yeah, and that's a good use. It's, you know, you typically see Overshield being used in really an aggressive situation. That time used much more of an anchor and a deterrent, just enabling the rest of his team to get the kills and control the room.
Yeah, like, not necessarily getting kills, but they're putting out the damage and forcing people to back off, so they can't really challenge the hill too much.
Right.
Because what up doing, they're gonna get taken out, and right now they're 2 down. Hopefully Dead Silence able to stay alive with this railgun, but gets taken out by a nice grenade from Reaper. And again, Nova all over that hill.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Your point of, like, there's just being a lot of zoning going on here. A lot of, you know, because you kind of know where all the players are going to be at, and so you're using your grenades, using all your bodies to just force people to back down.
3 dead again. Well, actually 3 dead on the side of Nova. So then Venom's not really, he's staying back, playing his life, not gonna... I'm here. Nice little nade on that top teleporter, takes out Goddess. He's still putting down damage, forcing Demonic to back off. But COS, and now he's gonna start playing a little bit more aggressive here. So we got 2 down. Now 3 down. Oh, nope. Man, Dead Silence does a fantastic job of staying alive, but now
Yeah.
OS in the green room, they should be able to get a good little setup here and get a good chunk of hill time. Especially with Venom, he's doing a fantastic job of controlling this teleporter.
Yeah, good position there. Leonoxide helps position him up so he doesn't have to chase those players. Now he's going to run in here and challenge this hill. Though, really nice job by Crazed Gaming, just putting those bodies there, preventing that OS player, Venom, from even contesting the hill.
Us with a nice little double kill. Some good help from Dead Silence there. Between the 2 of them, they just took out 3 players from Nova. Now Nova's spawning on the other side of the map, so Crazed Gaming get a very good chunk of hill time right here.
Yeah, and French Toast kind of running in for a little bit of a flank, though himself gets flanked by Leonoxide, and now 3 down for Crazed Gaming.
Another nice little double out of Goddess. She's doing a fantastic job putting out damage yet again. Nova definitely taking back control of that red room. It's really been like this hill has kind of been back and forth of, you know, Crazed takes control for a bit, then Nova takes control for a bit, but we got Leonoxide. Well, just picked up railgun, but got taken out by a nice perfect from that was. This is it, man.
What? Sorry.
But Luck doing a fantastic job here with the green gun. Unfortunately, misses the shot on OS, so Venom again picking up the OS. He's doing a fantastic job of timing this OS grab. So I think that's the second or third one in a row.
He's got it down to the second, I believe, and we've seen him again, I think, with this railgun as well before, and now in this anchor position, as we saw previously, not in this room, just sort of like holding this back position, calling players out, drawing shots.
And he's not pushing the hill, he's just putting himself in positions to force people to back off, because you know, the second you go up for that hill and you see that railgun start charging up at you, you want to get out of the way. With it being a one-shot kill, and just like that, he takes out Goddess. Another nice shot takes out Dead Silence, so he's helping his team try and get control of this green room so they can get another good, decent chunk of hill time. And I think that might be his second one of this game already. Actually gets taken down with the green gun. The Demonic's definitely putting the green gun to good use right now.
Certainly is, and Nova recognizing still 4 minutes, you know, left in the game, 5 minutes at the time. I really liked how, you know, again, we saw Nova not pushing that hill, not trying to scrap up time and lose position. They don't need to scrap up time. It's still a close game. They just need a couple of good rotations here, and they can put a good chunk of time on this. Game going to 200 now, so we're not in the red zone, quote unquote, where you see teams start to dogpile the hill.
You see Venom and who is this? Leon Oxide, who gets taken out by a nice grenade, but they're trying to get that OS, but it looks like the Monica's. Oh, Goddess is getting it.
No, not quite. I think that's Monsters who then picks it up. Really, Nova on top of these power-ups. I'd expect nothing less out of Leon Oxide and his team. Always a player that I've known to know those timings and keep track of them.
Crazed Gaming put so much focus on that OS that they gave up a lot of hill time here, and not again going on an absolute tear. Him and Monsters holding down this hill, get another really very solid chunk of hill time. And now they take the lead before we go to this next hill.
Yeah.
They have a good opportunity to try and get set up for this next hill with 2 dead, and the last 2 guys are over on this railgun, focusing on that.
Yeah, nice job by Goddess, though, forcing Leon Oxide out of the hill. That was a pretty big one, otherwise that might have been a real nice big chunk of time.
And now we have this Gaming. Dead Silence has got the railgun. So, again, they'll put out that damage and force people to back off just when they see that. It's a little double. They see that blue light start charging up, they get a little bit scared. And Dead Silence is 3 for 3 with his gun hits right now.
Yeah, and this is nice. You know, with approaching 2 minutes left in the game, we're going to start to see things get real scrappy here.
You see, now he's on a killing spree, but you can see that Nova's still being a little bit aggressive towards this hill when they should be setting up for this next one, which they are now. But Monsters in hill, and they had 2 dead, so if they play it right, they could get another decent amount of chunk of hill time off of this hill. Nice little kill from Reaper there. Reaper putting out damage and getting this hill time at the same time.
Yeah, and on board here, just Dead Silence, just sort of rotating around, trying to clear out the whole backside of this hill area. Now holding down this teleporter. Minute 20 left to go. Again, putting on good shots, staying alive. But that's going to be 3 down for Crazed Gaming. Nova, this is their opportunity. They need to get some hill time now.
Goddess, she's us on Crazed Gaming, or rest of Crazed Gaming, noticing hill's gonna be rotating. They spawn over on that side. So they're trying to set up in this red room to get these last few seconds. They knew they had a lead, and they knew that off of this last hill they can win it, but because they realized that, they're able to set up, and now it's gonna come down to a wire. It's gonna be another close game if Nova can get some kills here and get in this hill, but they're going to need to do it like right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe it's a second per something, per
point for
per second in there. Nice double there at a dead silence. I think we might be approaching time when this is not winnable. And I think that might be all she wrote right there.
this game.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful play by Crazed Gaming to realize that even though they weren't, Nova wasn't really racking up a whole lot of hill time on that final, or that second to last hill. They realized that they needed to get control of that next room, and if they do, they can force Nova to have to make a play in order to win that game, and that's exactly what they did. They put a lot more focus on that red room hill, try and basically put that game to bed, and obviously it worked out, and then got them the win for this game.
Yeah. Yeah. You always want to put your opponent. You always want to force your opponent to make a difficult play, and Nova doing a great job sort of recognizing that, as you just said. Taking a quick look at the stats here before we jump to our next game here. Amazing assists. I mean, just the assists out of both teams, obviously in particular, though out of blue team, 20 assists out of Venom. Doing a nice job just putting all those team shots on. Unfortunately, obviously not capitalizing. The strategy of that game, you know, the kills seemed looked relatively even between both teams, everybody doing the work, and so that game really did come down to proper rotations.
Say so. I think Nova might have outslayed them by just a little bit, but the ability to rotate and the way that Crazed was forcing Nova out of the hill and basically putting pressure on them, forcing them to make a play and control certain hills, it's basically the difference maker. And wasn't much of a difference. 24 seconds might seem like a lot, but
No,
you know,
not
you
at
get
all.
a hill and you hold it for, you get a good chunk of hill time. That's a completely different story.
Yeah, exactly. So really beautiful play out of that. Always good to see the top tier players and playing this game in such a way that, you know, we can talk about it to this length. It's always really interesting, and especially because, you know, you expect, you know, all these players can hit their shots, they can all slay, and so it comes down to that level of decision making that goes beyond just the slays.
The accuracy on everybody too. So not many people were missing a lot of shots. Demonic a little bit rougher game that game, but even then, 47% still pretty solid. But everybody else, you know, shooting well over 50. So in terms of slaying, it's dead even. In terms of damage, it's dead even. In terms of assist, it's very close to even. So it all comes down to how they're playing the objective and if they're playing it at the right time.
Yeah, what a great matchup to see. Crazed Gaming up 2-1, but every single game has been very, very close.
See if we can get another 4-4 tie on a CTF game today.
CTF Fathom. Let's start off here with Diabolic, who's taking the long way around, teaming up with Toast.
Venom gets taken out very quickly, so it's almost like they saw that play coming and they were watching. That's why they took that angle. As well as whoever went red sub put some shots on before he was even to make that jump up.
Yeah, and Nova there though, just sort of like coming up the ramp to top mid a little bit later and able to clean up that camo player, doing a good job.
Good play by Spider. Instead of pushing out and going for a kill, he elects to pick up the flag and get a beatdown. Keep that flag alive. Again, going 2 down, and they're just, I mean, Crazed is keeping this flag alive. Diabolic with the back smack and puts the first flag cap in, you know, under a minute. 54 seconds, I think it was. That's all it took for them to score.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Crazed Gaming, they're flying at it very early in this game.
Yeah, such quick play out of them, like just trying to keep track of what actually is going on with all the slays. And you know, this map is shorter than its width in terms of the flag distance. It's about 10 seconds from one side to the other, the long way being the width. So it's really Elixir an interesting gameplay. One of the reasons I think why Fathom is such of our favorites.
This is the start of this game is very similar to our first Bombard game, where this game is playing very aggressive, very in your face. They're flying to Nova's half of the map consistently.
We see Nova here taking a good position top mid.
I was gonna say, you got Venom and Reaper up top mid, controlling the map, trying to put out shots, put out damage, and make those calls, let the team know where everybody is at, where the spawners are. But doing a very good job of controlling. And Venom's got the, he's got railgun and camo.
Yeah, and just good job by Reaper there. Their team was losing top mid control. He picks up 2 nice kills, though, to really give his team some more time to take this more advantageous position. Now, as we see, Venom picks up this camo, and they're making a push for the flag. Oh, and they've got...
One thing I noticed is once they picked up that camo, it's like they were waiting for Nova to come after them, which... not the best idea. You need to be a little bit more aggressive, especially when someone has power up and railgun in their hands.
Well, I wonder if the thought process there was, well, Nova's being so aggressive, you know, let's just see if they, if they continue that aggression.
Well, the flag did get returned.
It did, yeah.
It looks like it's going to be an easy cap for Nova, but I don't know who it is, but someone made a fantastic play apparently to get the last kill they needed to get that flag returned. Otherwise, we'd have a 1-1 game right now. But
yeah,
Venom playing passive.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say your point about Venom playing passive. I think he might have needed to recognize that his team needed some more support to try and secure that flag.
Again, they're electing to try and get this top mid control, which is obviously very huge for maps like Fathom and Truth, because you get such a where they're pushing. You can really dictate the entire face of the game if you're able to maintain that control top mid.
Yeah, exactly. We're on here with Goddess, who is now bottom mid with this railgun. Doing a very slow job to get her team out of the base. Now, of course, there are a bunch dead for Nova. Pulling it subside, turning back, getting Monsters right in the face with that railgun. She's going to continue this run. Nova now being very aggressive, electing not to clear out their base, but try and go do a counter cap. Looks like Nova... she gets a nice boost there. That's going to be 2-0 for them.
That was a fantastic play by Goddess. It wasn't seen on stream, but what happened when she started the flagpole is there was a battle top mid for camo, and obviously both teams knew it was coming up, but there were 6 players top mid between both teams. And Venom did get the burn, but because there was so much focus on that top mid, Crazed was actually able to get 3 down right when Goddess was pushing that flag. And the second she pulled it, they were 3 dead, and obviously made it a relatively easy flag run for her.
Right, exactly. They really enabled her to do that.
Then you see Nova coming right back and playing out of their base very well. They get 3 down. They're electing to try and get this top mid control. Dan Oxide hanging out up there, calling out the spawners, putting shots on everything you can see, staying alive, and it's the kill on Dead Silence.
Yeah, now Monster's doing a good job there to put shots, and Venom rotating back to prevent the counter here, and they should get this cap.
That was a fantastic little flag run, because
It really was.
Oxide stayed top mid. Like I said, he did a good job of throwing out those spawners, and the second that the flag made it past the 50-yard mark, he jumped off the top mid and thrusted back towards their yard, and that's when he started putting those shots on Goddess and whoever it was that whoever else was pushing that blue elbow. But because he was maintaining that top mid control, now he's got camo again.
Yeah, I believe it's him and Venom really tag teaming this up. I believe that's who it was previously. And same going now. Leon Oxide doing a good job. Now in the base with camo.
unfortunately jumped out a little bit too early there because he wasn't completely sealed. So Dead Silence is able to get him called out and he gets cleaned up. But the thing is that while that was going on, there was so much focus on their base. Crazed is starting another flag run here.
Yeah, thankfully Venom's still in their base now with a killing spree. Ooh, just barely misses getting the kill on Venom before he gets that touch. Oh, and still, they're really dogpiling this flag. Able to get these pulls. Venom here just trying to protect this as much as he can, but geez, Crazed Gaming playing so aggressive. They want this cap.
They really do. They could have. Nova could have kept going, kept that flag run going. Honestly, they probably might have had that flag in their base, but obviously they elected to put a little bit more focus on trying to get their flag returned themselves.
Yeah, and they really need to clean Venom up out of their base, and they do just that now. He's been there for a very long time, making that very difficult.
Even Leon Oxide, they're basically making a living inside the red base. How aggressive they're playing and how much they're working off of each other and playing together. From Leon Oxide and is that? Yeah, this Reaper. Actually got taken out by a nade. Yeah, Leon Oxide getting that top mid control, waiting for that camo, and he sees it's up, and that's the second time he's gotten it consecutively.
Yeah, and as you said, he's always got some support here, you know. So 2 dead for each team. Leon Oxide has camo. Back down on his side of the base. They're currently down 2-1. But certainly not out.
Leon Oxide and Venom, like, just running together all the time, it seems like.
I would have to say that that's, you know, as I think I said this earlier, you know, sticking in pairs is always a good idea because you're either going to 2-on-1 somebody, and in the event you have a 2-on-2, well, then it's pretty even. If you then are coordinating with your other pair of 2, you can set yourself up some real good collapses.
And Leon Oxide was doing a fantastic job of staying alive, but pushed into red base just a little bit too soon before he had any support from his team. Like I said, Venom was making a living just sitting in base. Up to 25 kills at the moment, and I'm sure he's got several assists at this point. That he's been working with Leon Oxide when they were playing aggressively and pushing into that base.
Yeah, 2 minutes left to go in this game. I want to go into a listen here with, unfortunately, again, I would love to go in with Nova right now, but we've got Crazed on the horn. I'm going to go in with them just to see how they're handling this, you know, what their comms are like. Because, again, this is one of those scenarios that can happen where if you kind of let off the gas here, it could easily be tied up 2-2.
Okay, they got rail and fucking invis.
Yep.
Fuck me.
He went river. He went river.
It's got camo.
Top mid, full rail. Gotta stop
bro.
the. No.
Shit.
Tried.
God damn it.
Punch grab.
Fucking choking invis in the rail.
He's just.
Let's just keep it tight at least for the next minute.
In our front base and 2 on our tree.
Yeah, I had 2 in our tree. Guy in our base. 3 shots on him. Another one in our base, 2 of them.
That's a fuck.
Carrier's dead.
All right, man. Look at this run here. Keeping it alive. I always hate to go into a listening when teams aren't playing well, but what plays out of the Nova squad here, tying it up 2-2. 10 seconds left, about to go into overtime.
He got the cap.
And they got the cap. Wow.
That happened. One player specifically, Venom, got a double kill over in Red Treehouse. Again, the railgun.
Oh, I think you cut out a little bit there.
Seen it this whole time, like all day, all afternoon, we've been seeing him have fantastic games. 32 kills, dying 50 times, like.
Yeah.
Almost, 4,600 damage, 3 killing sprees. Like you mentioned, he was making a living inside of Red Base, and Leon Oxide obviously helping him out a lot, dropping 19 assists. You can see how those two are working together inside that Red Base. It's causing havoc the whole game, especially that last second half. The way that those two were just basically controlling and dictating the pace of the entire game.
They really did, and yeah, I mean, I think you said it well. Like, just doing an amazing job, and all it takes on that map is one good push, and they got it there. Again, not to dwell too much on those comms there, but tough comms out of a team. You're winning a little bit, and then you go down pretty quickly in the end there to 2 more caps, end up losing that game. Just goes to show you got to keep on that pressure. You got to keep on that gas. You got to make sure you get those power weapons and get those power ups. Otherwise, against a team and against a team like Nova, they are going to take advantage of that very quickly and capitalize on it. And they can take and win a game back in the last 2 minutes of a game.
Like I pointed it out several times, but Leon Oxide is doing a fantastic job of maintaining that top mid control, especially every time that Camo was coming up. It's like he definitely had the timing down on it, and he was always on top of it. He grabbed 2 consecutive camos within the last 5 minutes of that game. So again, that allowed him to get into positions and put shots out on people without having to expose himself too much, and definitely definitely allowed Nova to maintain more map control and put some pressure on him and get those flags moving.
Yeah, yep, and come away with that win. So here we go, everybody. Game number 5, Stronghold Eden, 2 apiece. Crazed and Nova. Each game been a nail biter. I'm gonna expect nothing less out of this one, as we're jumping into it right now. Thanks everybody for tuning in and sticking around. I hope you guys are having a good time. I certainly am.
It's been a long day. 2 series. One went to 4 games and ended, well, I went to 5 games. 5 games.
It went to 5 games, yeah.
One of them was a tie. That's why it threw me off.
Yeah.
So we have 2 back-to-back series going game 5. Everything's been close. In that first series, it doesn't get much closer than ending in an absolute tie.
Yeah, exactly.
17-minute gameplay to end in a tie. With this, with Eden, it's going to be interesting to see who's staying on top of those power-ups, because with 2 of them, it's going to be hard to keep track of.
Well, so I'll keep track of the overshield here. We're at about, I believe, 1150. Dead Silence picking it up. Venom putting in good shots on board with him as he gets cleaned up. And Demonic here has this invis.
I was gonna say, he's definitely had the better start because they got both power-ups and rockets. So, Nova is able to get a top cat, switch back over to blue, so they start scoring some points as well. But just a slight lead so far for Crazed. But like I said, they had a fantastic start, getting both power-ups and the rockets off the bat. They're supposed to have a very decent lead to start off this game.
And they do, and we sort of like saw this initial, it always catches me a little bit off guard when you don't see, nice double out of dead, when you don't see that initial grab for the objective, like in at least in like King of the Hill. But obviously now with the total control here from Crazed Gaming, getting those power-ups and power weapons paying off in the long runs. Dead Silence jumping up and down. Not sure if something's wrong or he's just blocking spawns and putting on good shots. That seems to be the case.
Yeah, the way that Crazed is rotating off at the start here, they're doing a fantastic job. They did have a trip cat for a little while, but Nova's able to take back that top cat and all over the place. It doesn't really seem like they're poised to make a push anywhere specific. They're kind of going back and forth on top cat here.
Yeah, Crazed Gaming doing a good job when there was 2 players over at Blue Bend. There was a 2-on-2, and then the third one popped over and put good shots. One of the blue players rotated out, the other one stayed. I believe it was Monsters who died, and that's the kind of difference that you're going to see is that quick decision-making, whether or not to stay a position and shoot or back down. It's going to turn the tide in terms of the slays and potentially affect the rotations, especially when you're a team on the back foot.
And another thing, again, both power-ups went into the hands of Crazed Gaming, and Diabolic sitting over outside red, putting down some damage with that DMR. Those guys over in Blue Bend rather. But now he's getting collapsed on by 3 from Nova. Nova's putting some focus over here on this Blue Bend, and Leon Oxide taking a nice angle through. Takes a nice angle going through Turbine, picks up a nice little double kill, helping out his team, cleaning up kills. And they should be able to switch this Blue Bend over to blue team and get them some more points here.
Yeah, and while that was happening, part of the reason why that was able to happen is Toast was sort of rotating around the other way. And now Leon Oxide and Monsters doing some work here.
Leon Oxide is alone top cat here with everybody spawning over in security, but unfortunately does get taken down. But Monsters and Venom follow spawners and putting down that damage from over in Red Nest.
And Venom here really utilizing that nest angle and the auto stabilize to just get as much visibility, put down as much shots as he can. As his accuracy is really killer right now, picking up a nice double as then he rotates over through mid-cat to help take the defense on Blue Bend. And look at the rotation here now up to top cat as everybody else is spawning over at nest, and now he's got an amazing angle there, and Monsters gets around for the flank for the triple. He pulls up those rockets.
Because of that, Venom gets control of that OS. So finally, Nova getting control of some power-ups here. Nice triple from Monsters with that rockets. It's well placed on Red Nest to stop them from capping. The killing spree now. They're still just kind of all over the place, putting damage on everybody from everywhere. It doesn't matter, like...
Who is that you're saying? I think you cut out a little bit.
Very sneaky with this OS. Gets a nice double kill back smack there. Nuisance on, for everybody. I think at this point he's got 8 kill killing spree at the moment. But he sees Dead Silence on Catwalk trying to put shots to clean him up. But this killing spree run by Venom has really allowed Nova to take back control of this map, and you see him. He's just not going to stop the aggressiveness.
And his movement is phenomenal. I'm actually surprised in that play at Nest that he didn't use one of his 2 grenades there. But him being able to fly up there and get there so quick, put down all those shots, like you said, being a nuisance, it's really doing work.
Unfortunately, it was a nice off of I think it's Goddess and Dead Silence. They might have gone low cat to top cat. Get a good flank on Venom when he spawning over in security, so that allowed to take back the strongholds advantage at least, and now are scoring slightly faster than Nova here. Back a little bit more.
Yeah, and then we're getting ready for these power-ups to come again. Monsters doing some good work. Again, rotating through this mid-cat, bottom mid, staying in position to get this overshield, and he does just that, then goes up through Turbine. His team has 2. They're going for the triple here. He supports Leon Oxide. Now smartly rotating back around to Blue Pen, knowing that this has been started. He's on a one-on-one with Diabolic. That's going to be a tough battle for him to win. And really Diabolic with no help there. Them electing to go more for the cat.
So it's kind of caught alone over here over top cat. He's got everybody on Crazed looking at him. Does get the nice reversal, and Demonic gets the killing spree going as well. Now you see him and Venom working together to get this top cat.
Yeah, and likewise on the other side, Reaper and Leon Oxide doing a good job to defend Blue Bend.
And both Monsters and looks like immediately turn towards that. Well, I guess Venom kind of backed off towards Blue Bend to keep that base, but they definitely looked off the same direction. They knew where people were spawning. Rotations, like going back and forth between bases on Nova here is extremely quick. And you see them, even though they have the map control, they're not really pushing for that triple cap. They're just maintaining these 2 bases, putting out damage where they can. Just controlling the map with these 2 bases. Now they get a triple cap while a very brief triple cap while Crazed was getting that Blue Bend.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, they're just the quickness that they're playing, the being able to rotate through the map well. They're definitely playing it very well. Though we do have now 2 to 1 in terms of caps for Crazed Gaming, potentially making a move here. But you do still score points when you still have 1 cap. So we're getting again to the point in the game where the decision making for what has to happen win is getting to be potentially dire.
He's got OS and rockets. See if we can see another fancy triple. Oh! Oh!
Completely misses.
That was poised to be a nice little triple kill for him actually, because if he would have hit that rockets, he didn't see it, but Camo was there. If he would have gotten both of them, then I don't know, I didn't see who it was that hopped up in his face, but he laid a smack down on him and fished him off very quickly, but very unfortunate that rocket didn't hit, because it would have been a nice triple and would have given Nova an opportunity to get this top cat a little bit sooner than what they have. They do have people spawning outside in Turbine. They're rotating very quickly for this Blue Bend to try and get this trip cap going.
Yeah, and they really need it right now. 178 to 133. Letting this just tick up, even just with holding 2 to 1, I think would still be in favor. And nicely done here. This is exactly what they need.
See if they do get the reset on top cat, which is useful, and then on top of that, Diabolic taking down 2 of Nova's players to stop them from 10 seconds to rocket launcher. Even thinking about capping it. We're getting a nice spawn over in red base. They able to switch over red and Est, and now they're kind of rotating over towards this Blue Bend, but Demonic taking a nice angle, gets the kill on Leon Oxide, and then got us with the flank, gets Monster, so it's gonna be another close game, but
It really is.
Gaming, they're definitely making they're making their work for this one.
Expect nothing less out of these teams. Back and forth now with the slays, 2 dead for each team.
So if yeah, Nova wants to win, they need to get a trip cap and hold it for. Ooh, this might be getting out of reach.
Yeah, 190 to 169.
Needed a triple cap. They needed to hold it for. If they could have held it for about 5 to 10 seconds, they would have had a chance to win. But
Yeah,
Nova pulling back, kind of really putting this out of reach, and the fact that they're just moving so quickly and they're all over the map.
Yeah, looks like they've stopped, and that's gonna be all she wrote there. Nicely done from Crazed Gaming, bringing that one home. Another very, very close game. Really brought down to the last points of decision making there.
like I said, if it would have, they could have gotten a total control there and held it for a little bit, it would have been a much closer game than what it was. But a big thing here out of Monsters is 11 stronghold defenses.
Yeah. Wow.
That is definitely going to help your team win a game. Then again, Venom again. He's done a fantastic job of this all day so far. The way that he's, putting up those kills and assists, but also keeping his deaths low. Between him and Monsters, 56 kills between the two of them.
Yeah, their movement missed a overkill, unfortunately, with Venom. That always seems to happen to me these days. But yeah, and when we were on him, his movement throughout the map and just his awareness, he always seemed to be behind players, never seemed to really be getting shot at. And like you said, when he is, just having that utility to stay alive and the teamwork between these players, look at all the assists, pretty even across the board for them, just putting in that team shot.
What is that? 28, 55 assists?
Yeah. For how many kills? About how many? Let's see, 50. I mean, again, the kills.
So for like 80, 90 kills?
Yeah. So, pretty solid. I think, though, that what definitely stands out is the rotations there out of Nova, just making a good work out of consistently capitalizing, again, with the two players capping a base. And like you said, Monster's really doing his work defending it. Obviously, all these players having a point and sort of a part in those defenses. He might have just been the last one, the closest one there, but that aggressiveness, I think, out of Nova, again, is what we saw really take that game to win it, 200 to 174.
Well, yeah, and like speaking of the aggressiveness and the rotations, the fact that they had 6 total controls, I mean, a couple of them were for less than a second, but
right.
Even then, they held total controls a couple times for several seconds. And the way that they rotated and were catching people off a spawn, they were immediately looking to find those spawners so they could maintain that total control as long as they possibly could, and put themselves up a good enough lead that you didn't necessarily need to be as aggressive and get those total controls, but just kept rotating around the map, making sure that they had that advantage as long as they could to maintain that lead.
Yeah, agreed. Well, that's it. That's all we have for tonight, everyone. That was game number 2 of this week number 3. This is an 8-week-long season if you're new here, so tune in every Saturday and Sunday. Our next game tomorrow will be between Mind Boggling and Rain. That'll happen at 5 p.m. Eastern right here. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram, as always, to know when exactly we're going live and for all other cool, fun stuff having to do with MGE, both related to and unrelated to our competitive scene. Shout out again to Trig for casting with me earlier today. Thank you, Reeps, as always, for casting with me. It's always a blast, and I feel like every time I get to watch these games with you and everybody, I get better myself. So it's always a pleasure and a privilege.
Practice makes perfect, my friend.
All right. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good time. These were some amazing games today. Again, I expect nothing less out of our players. Thank you so much. Thank you to MGE and all that you do, everyone behind the scenes and on the forefront. Have a great Saturday night. Hope everyone's having fun playing some more games today. And we'll see you tomorrow.